That camera is going. There you go. Now we'll go in here. We're going live. Welcome to a day in the life with the mag. Today we have a Beatles box set. It's been sealed since 1984, and I just picked it up. And my friend Johnny Gerard is here with me today, and we're going to unbox it for you live on Facebook right now. This is it. We're doing it, Johnny. We're breaking the seal. Here we go. This is a Capitol box set, made in USA, so it's all the American albums. Of all my Beatle box sets, I do not have one, or I did not have one until now. That is all the American albums. Here we go. We'll just toss that out. There are 16 albums in here. Let's see what they are. It's called the Platinum Collection. All right, the first thing I can see here is Abbey Road. There's Abbey Road. Is that the seal you were talking about? That almost looks like it. Sgt. Pepper. Magical Mystery Tour. Goodness, these are tight. The Beatles yesterday and today.
Well, wasn't that the butcher cover?
No, it's not, see?
But
they didn't put that little seal on there till 1976. This is a 1984 box set, but that wasn't added till 1976.
The butcher cover originally underneath that one?
It was originally underneath this one. That's correct. That's right. A first state, which is very rare, is one that never had the stick over. A second state still has this cover on it.
Right.
And the third state is when you have that removed and now you see the butcher cover, right, you get the third state. I have a third state butcher cover. Okay, this is Rubber Soul.
Oh, nice favorites.
Tight. They've been sealed since 1984. These have been sealed.
See the back, show the backs too.
Oh yeah, the backs, that's true. I should be showing you the backs of these. Okay, here's one. They got Help, the motion picture. All right, we're going to have to check this out now. This is the American version. We know that they did Help incorrectly when they flagged it there. They did
signs?
The Navy signs.
Okay.
All right, I got to check that because right off the top of the bat, I can't tell unless I check it. These are all the American albums now. My first Beatles box set of American albums. These would be 130 gram. I like that they're in stereo. I'd much rather hear the Beatles in stereo than the Beatles in mono. The only reason why they did mono was because that's all they had on the radio, was mono. So they wanted those mixes to sound good. But we all had stereos.
Show the back.
Oh, the back, yes. The back of the cover. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, back.
Did you hear the story about...
Here we go. The early Beatles. Now on Capitol. Early Beatles. In the back, there you go. We're going to end up with 16 albums here when we're done. So we got to get it. All right, here's Revolver. Revolver. There you go. With the Klaus Vormann drawing. We'll have to move this platinum box out of the way for now. Let's just put it over here.
Did you show Klaus Vormann his picture? He's right there.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's on
You
there.
can't see it.
Here's Beatles 65 with the Umbrellas. This was Mark Marquis' very first Beatle album. I happen to know that.
I think his favorite too, I think.
Well, it was his first one. Here's my favorite Beatle album, which coincides with A Hard Day's Night. Something New. Something New. We showed them the back of this one too, right? Yeah, the back of this one doesn't really have any photos on it. Yeah. Okay, then we have the Beatles' second album. These are all sealed, but we're going to open one because we want to see if the label is the rainbow label or if it's the reissue purple label. My guess is it's going to be the reissue purple label because I don't think Capitol would release, would do a reissue and use the rainbow label. All right, now we have Beatles Again. That's the name of this album. It's called Beatles Again. People call it the Hey Jude album, but it's Beatles again.
All right.
Then you have Yellow Submarine. There you go. And the White Album, and it is not numbered. It's a reissued, so it will not be numbered. But it's sealed, and it probably has the poster in, they call them postcards, but the pictures themselves.
So, the only album missing is the United Artists, Hard Day's Night.
Well, actually, Hard Day's Night, some of the songs are on something new. I don't know which other albums have the rest of them, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, they're called 16 because this is a double album. I get it. So there are 16 record albums here. Yellow Submarine, something new. All right, now, the only thing that is that I don't see is Meet the Beatles. That's not included in this set.
That's unusual.
I know, Meet the Beatles. So this would be the first Beatles album that they have. This would be number 1 right here. Then the second album would come next. The second album.
That's funny.
What comes after that,
It's
John?
funny. If it's an American release, why wouldn't they have Meet the Beatles?
Yeah, there we go.
Crazy.
All right, so these are the oldest albums here. Then you have something new. All right, 16 albums. Now, we have to open one of them so we can check the label out. We want to see the label. Which one should we open to check the label? We could, this is my favorite Beatle album of all time.
Check that one.
Right here. This is my favorite Beatle album of all time. This is sealed since 1984.
Signed, sealed, and delivered today,
Sealed
right?
and delivered.
Did you get it today?
Yeah, they came today. I waited down the end of the driveway for an hour and a half for the mailman to come up the road, drinking Budweisers the whole time. I want to open this up. We got to take this plastic right off of here, because I don't want it. Once I open an album, I never leave the shrink wrap on it.
No?
No, because it can warp the album. As the shrink wrap shrinks over time, it'll warp the album. Plus, I want to see, I don't think this one has the booklet, but we got to see. The only way we'll know is to open it up. No, there's no booklet with this one. It's just the album.
No booklet.
And it is the purple label. As you can see, the purple capital reissue label. Side 1. Side 1 and side 2. So we know all these albums are the purple label. I didn't think Capitol would reissue something and use the rainbow label. These are reissues and they're going to be purple. So 16 Beatle albums. This is the most expensive Beatle album I have ever, a Beatle item I have ever bought in my life. I have never paid so much money for something. Of course, it'll be 40 years old next year. But we just opened Magical Mystery Tour. We're going to open all of these. I'm going to play them. I always wanted a box set of the American albums, and now I have one. A box set of the American albums. So there you have it. The opening of the Platinum Collection from 1984 with the Mag and Johnny Gerard and all our Beatle
I wonder
paraphernalia.
if this has the
I don't
poster.
think it's going to have it because they didn't give you the book in that. We can open this and we'll find out.
Why was it so flat?
Yeah, let's try opening it up here if I can get my finger into this. There we go. I don't like using knives or anything like that because I've ruined too many things using a knife. All right, so let's take a look. I don't think they're going to give it to you with this, but I could be wrong. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Got a
Here's the poster.
Let's
Oh,
see.
here's the pics.
Nice.
Here, you got one anyways, you got Paul, but I only gave you one.
Come on. No. Wait a minute.
Oh, no, there you go, they're stuck together. They're stuck together.
There's Ringo. There's Paul.
Yeah, so this must open up again so you can get them. Yeah, and
Ah.
look at how thin they are.
Ah.
The originals are much thicker.
Well, like-
But for this re-release, they're very thin, but and these are the American copies of these photos. If you look at the British copies, I should have had some over here to show you. They're a little different. They're not cropped quite as close. I like the European British ones much better. But it did come with...
And they were much thicker too, they were like regular photo prints.
Exactly, just like photo paper.
Right.
They were much thicker. Well, we're gonna open all these albums anyways, because I'm gonna be playing them.
Now, this post had all the lyrics.
Words, all the lyrics on the back, so they still have that. Now, that hasn't changed. That's the same as in the original. These are thinner. I'm surprised they even gave them to you.
And here's the poster.
To you. Yeah. So we'll add these in here. Yep, and it's the purple capital label. Yeah, the purple capital label. Here you go. Let me get this in there to show you that it's the purple capital label. Right there, reissue of the White Album. Unnumbered, it's a reissue. But now I have a boxed set of American Beatle albums, my first one. And who would have thought that I would pay the most money for a Beatle item, and it would be the American albums instead of the British ones.
We would have thought you would pay the most money.
Yeah, well, I did do it, you know. I just want you to know, I don't have the money to pay for this. I put it on my credit card. We'll pay for it over time, but that's the way I usually do things. But this is still cool.
No money down.
This is still cool.
Chase me for the rest later.
This is still cool having all these Beatle albums. Now I want to put them away in order, Johnny, but I don't know if I can get it right. This is the first. This is the second. What was the third album? I think third album is this one.
That's
then
the fourth.
comes Beatles 4. Then comes Help. After Help, oh wait a minute, Beatles 4, Help. 65. Beatles 65 comes. Then after Beatles 65, you got Yesterday and Today. Rubber Soul, there you go.
The Revolver.
Let's see, then you got Revolver. Oh no, wait a minute, yeah, Revolver is next.
Then I think this is next.
When did they do?
No, wait a minute.
No, this
Sgt.
came out
Pepper.
first, because Sgt. Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour was supposed to be a double album, but they released them separately. And then came, what do you call it? Yellow Submarine. After Yellow Submarine comes the White Album.
I think we're
And
next.
then, I think this came absolutely last. So what you don't have here is Let It, oh no, wait a minute.
There it is.
There's Meet the
There's
Beatles.
Meet
We
the
had
Beatles.
Meet the Beatles. It was there. All right. So it's still the early Beatles comes first. Then comes Meet the
And it's
Beatles.
got the gold record award thing on it.
Yeah, it's got the gold record award thing because it's a reissue that they started having that in 1976. Any of these other ones stuck
Have you met the
together?
Beatles yet?
Let's just take a
This
look.
is John, George, Paul,
Okay.
and Ringo.
So we don't, there's no Let It Be. You don't have Let It Be here. No, but what is on Beatles Again? This is, yeah. So you don't have.
So this is the first.
This does not include Let It Be. No. Hey Jude, Revolution, Paperback, Writer. I should have known that. This is like a greatest hits type thing. This thing.
Well, it's a compilation, right?
Yeah. So this goes
That's
like
a
this.
compilation too, I think, right?
This
Now
here.
in Capitol.
Yeah, this was their first album released here, and then comes Meet the Beatles, I believe. Look, we probably get it all wrong, Johnny, but that's okay. All right, so we hope you enjoyed that. We'll go back over it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10, 11,
11,
12.
13, 14, 15, 16 albums, and the White Album's a double album, so you actually have 17 albums in this box set, which is the Platinum Collection. I'll show you this again. 1984 from Capitol Records. Now, Scranton, they had 4 plants that manufactured. Scranton, Pennsylvania closed in 1973. So I don't know where this should have been made in California probably. But there you have it. We've opened a Beatles box set for you live on Facebook. We hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you again. Yep, that's it. You click that. Do this. Now, I don't want this to get thrown away. Your live stream will be watchable for 30 days. No, I want to change that. 30 days. Change that. I don't want it. 6 months. Never delete. Never delete. Okay. Deletion settings. Never delete. Privacy. Oh, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people watching. 6 people watching. Oh, you did it live? Oh, okay, that's cool. So we're good with that. That's it. Post now. There you go. Now, once we post it, we do that. We wait a few minutes. What we'll do is we'll wait a few minutes, and then I'll be able to go and put a title on there, on the actual post. There you go. You have it. We opened them all up. We have them in order now. Put this over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not sure if the Yellow Submarine came out after the White Album or before it, that I'm not sure. 15 and 16, and there's no Let It Be in this box set. Can you believe it? No Let It Be. And there's the box set. There you go.
You think Let It Be hadn't come out yet, or?
What's that?
You think it hadn't come out yet?
Oh no, of course it had. This was made in 1984.
Oh,
And it came out in 1970.
Well,
It just, it's considered part of the British setup. It wasn't, Let It Be wasn't considered an American album. Well, actually, they started using the Apple label from the White Album on. 1968, they opened Apple.
Right.
After that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There was no more American album released. They were only British. So Let It Be is only a British album. Plus, Let It Be is the only album not produced by George Martin. It's Phil Spector.
Phil Spector.
Then it's not included in this box set for a reason.
Wow.
Maybe they didn't want to give Phil Spector the pleasure. I really don't know what the.
Well, Paul was pissed that he put all the horn section.
We left this going. We got to.